Well, good morning everyone. Hope you're doing good and having a great week. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for your support. And to all our viewers and those recently subscribed, thank you and welcome to this channel. As you saw at the beginning of this video, today we're going to talk about some silver dragons. These are the Vintage Dragons Restrike medallions, a series of very collectible silver medallions issued out between 2018 to 2021. There are a total of 8 of them, and they were all minted by the China Gold Coin Incorporation. Now, the design of these 8 medallions are based on old Chinese dragon coins. I know very little about the dragon coins from China, but I do know that some of them can be extremely valuable and expensive, something that I will never have in my collection. So it's really awesome that I do have the complete collection of these 8 medallions from the Vintage Dragon series in my collection. It is my understanding that several mints in China have actually produced restrikes of the old Chinese dragon coins. Some of these restrikes are silver-plated medallions, while others are minted out in 30 grams of silver. However, I believe these series here are the only ones that are minted in a full 1 ounce weight of silver, and these medallions actually have a very limited mintage of 5,000 medallions each. Sources on the internet has also mentioned that these are the first medallion from China to have the purity of the metal and the year of issue laser etched on the edge of the medallion. Because of that, these restrikes are actually quite difficult to find and they're quite collectible, and for that reason I will not be removing them from the original plastic packaging when I'm doing the review for these medallion series. I've been collecting these medallions for quite a while, and it took me quite a long time to finish this series. I only managed to get the last few medallions when I visited the LPM store during my previous trip to Hong Kong, which I recently featured in one of my videos. So for this video, I'm going to go through the specifications of this medallion, then we're going to take a look at the designs of each of these medallions in turn. But before we take a closer look at them, I'd just like to say again that I started a crowdfunding page on Buy Me a Coffee. You can find the link to that page in the description text of my YouTube homepage. So do click on that, and I'll be appreciating any support that you can give, as this channel is not monetized. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at these dragon medallions. Alright, as I mentioned just now, these medallions were minted out by the China Gold Coin Incorporation. These designs were minted in both gold and silver. For the silver version, they were issued out in both antique and proof finishes. These are the proof finish. And for the proof finish, there's 2 different weights. We have the 1 ounce and the 1 kilo. You'll see a little bit about the 1 kilo medallions at the end of this video when I show you some shots that I took at the LPM store. Each of these medallion designs have a very limited vintage of 5,000 medallions, and they're all struck in 395 silver with a weight of 31.1 grams or 1 tri-ounce. They all have a diameter of 38.68 millimeter and a thickness of approximately 2.75 millimeter with a smooth edge. Here's a closer look at the edge of the medallion, and as you can see, the year of issue and the purity of the metal is laser etched on the rim of the medallion. And for this example, you can see it reads here 2019, 1 ounce, 3/9 fine silver. Alright, with the specifications all done, let's take a look now at each of the medallions in turn. I'll start with the first medallion of the series. This is the Kiangnan Dragon Medallion, released in 2018. This is the first issue of the series. And typically, these medallions here have the highest premium when compared to all the other medallions in this series. Next, we have the Reverse Dragon Medallion, also issued out in 2018. Here we have the very desirable Dragon and Phoenix Medallion, issued out in 2019. And here we have the very beautiful long whiskered Dragon Medallion, also released in 2019. Following that, we have the Hupu Dragon Medallion, also issued out in 2019. My apologies for my poor pronunciation of the Chinese language. The final 3 medallions for this series were all issued out in 2020. Here we have the Water Dragon Medallion, next we have the Hupei Twin Dragon Medallion. This is an extremely beautiful design. And finally, the last design of this Vintage Dragon Restrike series, we have the Guangdong Dragon Medallion. Okay, with that all done, that completes my review of my Chinese Vintage Dragon Restrike Medallion series, which were again minted from 2018 to 2020. My apologies again that I didn't take the medallions out from the original plastic packaging. For these medallions are actually quite collectible and quite difficult to find at reasonable prices. So in the event that I want to flip them onwards in future, I wanted to keep them in the original packaging and in as best condition as possible. Stay tuned to the end of this video where I'll show you some footage of these medallions at the LPM store when I visited that store during my recent trip to Hong Kong. And with that, I guess that will do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, don't forget to leave me a like if you have enjoyed this content, and be sure to hit that share and subscribe buttons down here if you have not done so. As always, from everybody over here, you all please take care, be safe, and have a nice day.
Mm-hmm.